Hello everyone. Let's start new topic in fixed income, that is yield and yield spread measures for fixed rate bond. क्यों पढ़ना है ये टॉपिक? क्या है ये टॉपिक yield spread measures? न्यूमेरिकल है या थ्योरेटिकल है? मोर न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चन एक्सपेक्टेड रहेगा इसका। क्यों है ये yield spread measures इतना इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है? रीजन बीइंग हमने yield कैलकुलेट करना सीखा, एनुअल, सेमी एनुअल, जीरो कूपन बॉन्ड एंड विथ एनुअल फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ कूपन पेमेंट, सेमी एनुअल फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ कूपन पेमेंट। क्वेश्चन ये है कि जब हम इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज को कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, व्हेन वी आर कंपेयरिंग टू डिफरेंट बॉन्ड्स, और अगर ये दोनों बॉन्ड सेम बॉन्ड ए और बॉन्ड बी बोथ आर गिविंग इन एनुअलाइज्ड कंपाउंडेड यील्ड ऑफ 10%, लेट्स से क्रेडिट क्वालिटी सेम है, क्रेडिट क्वालिटी सेम है, बाकी सारे एस्पेक्ट्स में सेम है, सो दोनों ही एनुअलाइज्ड यील्ड दे रहे हैं 10% की ऑन अ कंपाउंडेड बेसिस, बट बॉन्ड ए एनुअल बेसिस पे आपको कूपन पेमेंट कर रहा है, जबकि बॉन्ड बी सेमी एनुअल बेसिस पे कूपन पे कर रहा है। तो क्या ये दोनों बॉन्ड इक्वल है, कंपैरेबल है? दोनों का 10% क्या इक्वल है वाईटीएम? नहीं, नहीं। क्यों नहीं? बिकॉज एनुअलाइज्ड बेसिस पे जो वाईटीएम कैलकुलेट किया है उसमें अगर पीरियोडिसिटी 1 है, यानी कि एनुअल बेसिस पे कैलकुलेट हुई है, और अगर पीरियोडिसिटी सेमी एनुअल बेसिस पे की गई है, तो ओवरऑल रिटर्न इन्वेस्टर के अलग आएंगे। क्यों अलग आएंगे? एक बहुत छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं। 100 रुपीज अगर 10% पे हमने इन्वेस्ट किया है फॉर 1 ईयर विथ एनुअल फ्रीक्वेंसी, सो ये 100 T0 से T1 यानी कि ईयर एंड पे जाके 110 हो जाएगा, 10% रिटर्न है। बट यहीं पे अगर ये 10% सेमी एनुअल बेसिस पे कर दिया जाए, अगेन 100 रुपीज 1 ईयर 10% बट ऑन अ सेमी एनुअल बेसिस, so this 100 will become 105 at the end of 6 months, and then for next second half of the year we will get return on 105, the compounded value. So on 105 additional 5% is 5.25, so overall at the end of the year we will get 110.25 over on an investment of 100. तो जो हमने 10% दोनों ही केस में बोला एनुअलाइज यील्ड, बट हमारा ये जो फ्रीक्वेंसी का इंपैक्ट आया, जो 10% एनुअल है वो 100 का 110 ही बन रहा है, 100 का 110 ही हो रहा है, एंड जो 10% ऑन अ सेमी एनुअल बेसिस है वो दैट इज बिकमिंग 100 to 110.25। इसका मतलब जब भी आप 2 बॉन्ड्स, कोई भी 2 बॉन्ड 3 बॉन्ड जिनको भी आप कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, बेंचमार्क वर्सेस योर कॉर्पोरेट बॉन्ड, आपके कंपैरिजन में बेस बॉन्ड जो कंपैरिजन के लिए बेंचमार्क यूज हो रहा है या बेस यूज हो रहा है वर्सेस योर बॉन्ड, दोनों का फ्रीक्वेंसी सेम होना चाहिए, और अगर नहीं है तो आपको कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा। तो हम वही चीज डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। दोनों बेसिस पे न्यूमेरिकल और ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस बनते हैं, थ्योरेटिकल भी। सबसे पहले हम इसको बोलते क्या है, ये जो एनुअल, सेमी एनुअल, ये जो फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ कूपन पेमेंट है, इसको जनरली बोला जाता है पीरियोडिसिटी। व्हाट इज पीरियोडिसिटी? एन एनुअलाइज्ड एंड कंपाउंडेड यील्ड ऑन अ फिक्स्ड रेट बॉन्ड डिपेंड ऑन द assumed number of interest period in the year। एक साल में कितनी बार इंटरेस्ट आएगा? अगर एक ही बार आएगा हम बोलते हैं एनुअल पीरियोडिसिटी, 2 बार आएगा हम बोलते हैं सेमी एनुअल पीरियोडिसिटी। इट्स मोर और लेस इक्वल्स टू द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट, which is called as periodicity, and periodicity typically matches with the frequency of coupon payment. So I hope periodicity and frequency हमें समझ में आया, और ये भी समझ में आया कि 10% annual periodicity YTM and a 10% semi-annual periodicity YTM are not equal. Ultimately इन्वेस्टर को अलग अलग रिटर्न मिलेंगे। So, यहां पर हमने एक कॉन्सेप्ट ऑलरेडी कर रखा है, इफेक्टिव एनुअल रेट. व्हाट इज इफेक्टिव एनुअल रेट? सो हमारे फर्स्ट केस में जब हमने 10% एनुअल पीरियोडिसिटी बेसिस पे जब इन्वेस्ट किया फॉर 1 ईयर, वी गॉट 110. So effective annual rate what we have achieved is 10%. But when we have invested at 10% with a semi-annual periodicity, that 100 became 100 to 110.25. So what annual return, what annual rate of return we have got? It is 10.25%. It is 10.25%. How we have calculated this 10.25? So on the base 100 for assume it is calculated for 1 year. So your capital T is 1. So your M is your periodicity. So in case of annual it is 1. Let's say capital I is 10%. So your 100 will become 110. So your effective annual rate, effective annual returns is equals to 110 minus 100 over 100 is into 100 is equals to 10% per annum. But when I am saying I is 10% and T is 1 year and M is equals to 2, this example is with 5%. Now we are changing the example. We are doing it on 10%. So my small I, that is my compounding rate, will become 5% for 2 periods in 1 year. Periodicity, 2 periods. This 100 will become first 105 and then on 105 again 5%, 110.25. So what is effective annual rate? Effective annual rate is equals to 110.25 minus 100 over 100 principal A minus P over P multiplied by 100 is equals to 10.25%. 10.25% per annum. Both are per annum. So effective return increases with your increase in periodicity for same rate of return. So what is the formula for effective rate of return? Very easy. So ultimately what we have done, effective annual rate is equals to A minus P upon P multiplied by 100, which is equals to P1 plus small I, which is I, capital I, your annual rate divided by your frequency, power small t minus 1 upon minus P upon P whole power whole multiplied by 1. We take P common, so we got 1 plus small I power T minus 1. P and P got cancelled on numerator and denominator. So ultimately your effective annual rate is equals to 1 plus capital I upon your frequency or periodicity to the power capital T is small t is equals to 2, your periodicity. So it is M multiplied by 1 minus 1 multiplied by 100. This becomes your formula for calculating the effective annual rate. So if we have a stated annual rate for return yield and divided by your frequency, then 1 plus and power is your again periodicity, you will get your effective annual return. So 10% annual periodicity yield is actually 10% return, effective return, but 10% semi-annual periodicity yield is effectively 10.25%. We can get from this formula. And we understood that 10% annual and 10% semi-annual periodicity are not equal. So when bond yield is presented on a semi-annual yield basis, it is called as semi-annual bond equivalent yield, BEY, a symbol. That BEY is that bond is with a semi-annual, that is in year there are 2 periodicity. So it is an annual rate with a periodicity of 2. So it is a generally quoted in the market that the bond equivalent yield, semi-annual bond equivalent yield of a bond is 5%. So different bonds if are quoted on this yield basis, they are directly comparable. No need to convert annual yield into semi-annual or quarterly into semi-annual. Generally, it is all after conversion only the quotation is given for the yield in the market. Now, question is, so let's take some example of a same bond, whether the yield will change or it will remain same. Let's say a bond is having a face value of 1000, coupon rate is 10%, time is your 4 years. So PMT is your how much? PMT will depend on your periodicity now. And bond is quoted at a price of PV, price of let's say 1020 in the market. Now, if your periodicity of the bond is annual, it means it will pay coupon only once a year. So your PMT is equals to 100, PV is equals to negative 1020, N is 4 and FV is equals to 1000. We can calculate our IY, your yield, YTM, what bond is giving is equals to 100, 1000, 1020 negative 4 and yield. So this is 9.3775% and it is by default it is per annum because the periodicity is 1. But when we quote it on a semi-annual basis, we say the bond is giving semi-annual coupon, and in that case your PMT will be 50, PV is again 1020, N will become 8, there are 8 semi-annuals and future value is 1000. So what we got, CPT IY is equals to 4.6944. This is yield on for half year. So your annualized yield, what we do is annualized yield is equals to 4.6944 multiplied by 2 gives you, multiplied by 2 is equals to 9.3887% per annum. Same bond with everything same, only periodicity changes and the yield effective return to investor will also change. Now question comes is, what will happen for a zero coupon bond? First of all, what will happen for a zero coupon bond and how this periodicity is going to impact money market instrument, the instrument which are having tenure less than 1 year. So money market we will cover in the later part, next videos. So but let's go for zero coupon bond. So in case of zero coupon bond, so same bond, 10% coupon, same price, same redemption value, same tenure, but if bond is having annual periodicity, the yield is 9.3778. But if the bond is giving a semi-annual coupons, then it is giving us a yield of 9.3887. So periodicity is very critical for decision making and comparing two bond. So if first is a bond X and second is bond Y, of course bond Y should be preferred because it is giving higher return. Let's go for a zero coupon bond. Now zero coupon bond is not having any coupon at all. So what will be the periodicity? So in this case, we assume that in case of zero coupon bond, the periodicity is arbitrary. It depends on the user what type of periodicity he is using for comparing with other benchmarks. So if he is comparing with a semi-annual bond, he has to calculate yield on with a periodicity of semi-annual basis. So if a zero coupon bond is having a face value of let's say $1 lakh, tenure is 5 years. Term to maturity is 5 years. This is term, tenure, and this is also, I'll say, tenure. tenure is if it is 5-year and it is trading at, of course, it will trade at a discount to face value. So PV is equals to, let's say it is 80,000. There will be no coupon, so coupon percentage is actually 0. That is why it is 0 coupon bond. So if you calculate a bond yield on a period with a periodicity of A, periodicity if we take annual, then in this case your FB is equals to 1 lakh, N is 5, PV is equals to negative 80,000, PMT is equals to 0, and you calculate a IY yield. What we have done actually, 1 lakh equals to 80,000 divided by 1 plus, sorry, this is our time series T0, T5, annual basis. You are investing 80,000 here and you are getting 1 lakh here, and you are calculating your discounting rate. So it is equals to 80,000 is equals to 1 lakh over 1 plus R to the power 5. So what is the yield we are getting? On an annual basis, it is giving a yield of 4.5640% per annum, and this is already annualized. It is having compounding effect on an annual basis. Now, same bond, there is no coupon, but if you are using periodicity of semi-annual basis, then what will happen? The same time series will convert into T0 to T10, because now time series is semi-annual time series. And you are investing 80,000 and you are getting 1 lakh back. So what is the discounting rate or implied return in these two pair of cash flows? So we can say 80,000 is equals to 1 lakh upon 1 plus R to the power 10. In this case, the yield will come on a semi-annual basis. It will be a semi-annual yield. So yield per semi-annual, I'll better say yield per semi-annual, how much you are going to get. So what will be the PV? PV is equals to 80,000, negative 80,000. Future value is 1 lakh. PMT is 0. N is in this case is 8. So if we compute our yield, it is equals to 2.2565. This is yield per semi-annual. So if it is yield per semi-annual, so your annualized YTM is equals to 2.2565 multiplied by 2. That gives you how much? That gives you multiplied by 2, 4.5130% per annum. So same bond, no change. Now there are no coupon. It's just the assumption of periodicity. Earlier it is giving you a return of 4.56, and now it is giving you a 4.5130. 4.5130. So what we can conclude here? Number one, first of all, what is periodicity? We are done with this. What is effective annual rate? We are done with the formula, that this is the formula which we are going to use for converting annual into getting the effective return from a annualized yield considering as periodicity. Next is when yield is quoted on a semi-annual basis with a semi-annual periodicity, that yield is called as bond equivalent yield or semi-annual bond equivalent yield. Next, periodicity of a zero coupon bond is arbitrary, so it depends on the users what periodicity he is using, because there are no coupon payment. Next, now this is important conclusion. For a given pair of cash flows, for a given pair of cash flows, the stated annual rate YTM and the periodicity are inversely related. As you increase the periodicity, your annualized compounded yield of this zero coupon bond will decrease. Same bond 4.56 annual yield, same bond annual periodicity, same bond semi-annual periodicity 4.5130. So as you increase your periodicity for calculating the stated annual rate for a given pair of cash flow, the periodicity is inversely related with that rate. You increase periodicity, your rate will go down. Next. Now, how to convert yield quoted in one periodicity into yield quoted in another periodicity? Because finally the purpose is to compare two bonds. Which bond is better? So let's go for two bonds. And with different periodicity, and then find out which bond is better than second bond. So how to convert this? We are going to use this formula, but the question is from where this formula is arrived. This formula is same what we have used for your effective annual rate also. It's the same formula. Now, how it is the same formula? Let's go for this. And then second, one more type of illustration, mathematical calculation we will be doing. That is when yield is negative. What will happen when we are going to decrease the periodicity? In case of positive yield, we have understood that as you increase the periodicity, your annualized yield will go down. What will happen if it is a negative yield generating bond? Let's do first that and then go for comparison type of topic. So we have illustration number 3. Now here the bond is having a face value of 1 lakh, present value of 1 lakh 2,500, assuming it's, so that is why it is going to, and it's a zero coupon bond. We have already done that yield can be negative. In extreme cases with excess monetary supply because of monetary policy, in some economies yield can go negative. So future value is this, present value is this, and your tenure of the bond is, let's say again 5 years or 2 years. Let's go for 2 years only, small bond. So let's calculate its the yield on annual basis. Number A, the periodicity is, and it's a zero coupon bond. So if the periodicity is equals to annual, we know that this is a T0, T1 and T2 annual series where you are investing 1,02,500 and you are getting 1 lakh. Just for safety you are investing. So what is the expected return? R percent. So what is the equation? 1,02,500 is equals to 1 lakh over 1 plus R to the power 2 gives you R equals to, so what we are going to input here, PV equals to negative 102,500, future value equals to 1 lakh, N is equals to 2, PMT equals to 0. Let's find out, compute yield 1,02,500, 1 lakh 0 to is giving us a yield of negative 1.277% per annum. This is already an annualized yield because it's on a periodicity of annual basis. Let's go for, if the periodicity is semi-annual, same bond, all cash flows, same pair of cash flows. Now your series is of 4 semi-annuals. 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are semi-annual time series. This is a semi-annual time series. So now here you are investing 102,500 and 1 lakh and 1 lakh. So we have got 1,02,500 is equals to 1 lakh upon 1 plus r to the power 4. This will be yield on yield per semi-annual. So this is not bond equivalent yield. This is a yield per semi-annual what we are calculating here. So PV equals to negative 102,500, future value 1 lakh, N is 4, PMT is equals to 0. So we got compute IY equals to negative. This is going to generate us yield per semi-annual. Negative 0, 1 lakh, 4 and the yield per semi-annual is negative 0.6154. So if we want to convert annualized yield it is negative 0.6154 multiplied by 2 is equals to negative 1.2308% per annum. What it means from both these two illustrations in positive as well as negative cases. Pair of cash flow is same. In first case, your 4.5640 YTM, annual frequency, annual periodicity, 4.5640 per annum is equals to same pair of cash flow, overall return are same, you are investing 80, you are getting 1 lakh, is equals to YTM semi-annual periodicity of 4.5130% per annum. Both are per annum, but the periodicity is different, and as the periodicity is increasing, your YTM is decreasing in case of positive. Let's see what is happening in negative cases. So YTM annual periodicity is how much? Negative 1.2270% per annum is also giving same pair of cash flow, only periodicity is changing. So YTM on a semi-annual basis, semi-annual periodicity is equals to negative 1.2308% per annum. So it is again decreasing. Negative 1.22 and negative 1.23. Negative 1.23 is even lower. With a negative sign, 1.23 is even lower, more away from the zero. So in both the cases we can generalize. As you increase your periodicity, your annual YTM will decrease. Both cases, positive or negative, it is decreasing. In case of positive, it will move towards zero. From 4.56, it is moving to 4.51. And in negative cases, it is going to move away from zero. Still, it is away from zero. Negative number is a lower number. So in both cases, as you increase periodicity, your annual YTM will go down. And these two are equal, generating equal return for the investors. Equal in return. So 10% annual periodicity is not equals to 10% semi-annual periodicity YTM. It will be equals to somewhat less than 10% semi-annual YTM. Somewhat less than 10% semi-annual YTM periodicity, semi-annual periodicity YTM. So that is why whenever you are going to compare two bonds or a bond with a benchmark, the periodicity of both these instrument which you are using for comparison should be same. So importance, I hope everyone understood the importance of periodicity. Now last part, how to convert a bond quoted in one periodicity into a bond quoted in the another periodicity. Because semi-annual bond and annual bond, or semi-annual and annual and a quarterly bond, how will you compare these two? Which bond is giving higher return? We understood that annual periodicity YTM is not directly comparable with quarterly or monthly periodicity YTM. So we need to convert. So this we have already done. For a given pair of cash flow, the stated annual rate YTM and the periodicity are inversely related, whether it is a positive or a negative YTM. Both cases we have done. Next is converting. And one more thing, compounding more frequently at lower annual rate, correspond to compounding less frequently at higher annual rate. Compounding more frequently at lower rate is equals to compounding less frequently at higher rate. Both are same. How it is same? This is 6 and 7 points are connected. First, let's understand how to convert one periodicity rate into another periodicity rate. Conversion. From one periodicity to another. How to convert? Let's go for same illustration, that 80,000 and 1 lakh. And using this equation, this relationship, we know that 4.5640% is equals to, on an annual periodicity, is equals to giving same return on 4.5130. How we have established this equation? These two are generated from these two equations, semi-annual and where is the annual one? Annual one is this one. Using these two relationship, again we can say 80,000 and 80,000 in both the equation are equal in the left hand side, so right hand side will be also equal. Again, in right hand side 1 lakh and 1 lakh is in the numerator, again they are also same. So we can also say that if this is your R1, so you have calculated R1 directly equals to 4.5640%. And if this is your R2, you have calculated R2 equals to, which is half yearly yield per semi-annual, 2.2565, which we have multiplied by 2. We have done multiplication by 2. So using these two equations, we may say that 1 upon 1 plus R1 power 5 is equals to 1 upon 1 plus R2 to the power 10. 1 plus R1 to the power 5 is equals to 1 upon R2 to the power 10. They are same. 80,000 are same. So your right hand side will be same. 1 lakh numerator you can cancel out. So only 1 upon 1 plus R1 to the power 5 and 1 upon R1 plus R2 to the power 10, they are same. So what we can conclude here is 1 upon 1 plus R1 to the power 5 is equals to 1 upon 1 plus R2 to the power 10, or I may say 1 plus R2 to the power 10 is equals to 1 plus R1 to the power 5. So, or I'll say 1 plus R2 to the power 2 is equals to 1 plus R1 to the power 1. Or I may say 1 plus my semi-annual YTM per annum, my semi-annual YTM per annum, and YTM per annum, that is my APR, annual percentage rate, 2 divided by 2 whole power 2 is equals to 1 plus my annual percentage rate of 1 year divided by 1 to the power 1. They are equal. And same relation we can use for quarterly, monthly. We will arrive at the same equation. So ultimately, what is the equation? We have got 1 plus annual rate of M frequency divided by M to the power whole power M is equals to 1 plus APR, annual rate of nth frequency, upon n whole power n. These two are equal. So this becomes our ultimate formula for converting one frequency into another. So let's go for one bond. Bond is a coupon paying bond. Now we will go for a coupon paying bond. Coupon is 10%, face value is $1,000, and it is having a periodicity of, it is having a two bonds. Let's go for bond X and bond Y. So bond X is having a period of 4, and M, the periodicity in this case is 1, annual periodicity. And this is going to be priced at, let's say, priced at $960. So first of all, let's calculate the YTM. So we have PV equals to negative 960, PMT equals to 100, N equals to 4, and FB equals to 1000. We got our yield equals to, and directly it's annualized yield equals to how much? 1000 and this thing. So 960 negative, 100 positive, 1000 positive, and 4 years we got a yield of 11.2975% per annum. So this bond is giving us a annual yield on a compounded basis, yield of 11.2975% with a periodicity of 1. Now let's go for a bond Y. So what till now what we have done? Number one, till now we have done formula for effective annual rate. If a annualized rate is given, what will be the annualized rate is given with a different periodicity, how to convert it into effective annual return, what return we have effectively got. We will be using that formula 1 plus capital I upon M whole power M minus 1 multiplied by whole multiplied by 100. Second, we understood that periodicity is going to affect your annualized return. As you increase your periodicity, your annualized returns are increasing because you are getting faster cash flows. Number two, so a bond, two bonds with same yield but different periodicity, they are not directly comparable. You have to change the periodicity of one bond with respect to another bond, then only you can compare. Second, periodicity of zero coupon bond is arbitrary because there are no coupon. You can use depending on your usage for what you are going to use that YTM for. You are going to compare it with which type of bond, annual or semi-annual or quarterly or monthly. Accordingly, you can change the periodicity in case of zero coupon bond, and relationships comes out to be that for a given pair of cash flow, because in zero coupon bond there are two cash flows only, in first cash flow at the start and the second cash flow at the maturity. As the periodicity increases, your annual stated rate or annual YTM will go down. whether it is a positive YTM generating bond or whether it is a negative yield generating bond. Next, we have done what we have done, this conclusion. Now we are doing how to convert yield quoted with one periodicity into yield quoted in the second periodicity for comparison. For that we have arrived at a formula, and this is the ultimate formula. So we now what we are doing, we are comparing two bonds. So this is the bond with $960 price, maturing in 4 year, periodicity 1, and we have got the yield of 11.2975%. Now let's go for a bond Y, which is also giving a coupon of 10%. Again, face value of 1000. N is 4. The only difference is M is, let's say, your 12, that is your monthly periodicity. And this bond is right now trading at $970. So what will be the numbers? PV equals to negative 970, PMT equals to 1000, 100, not 100 this time. This is going to be 100 divided by 12. So it will be 100 divided by 12 is equals to 8.333 per month. N will become 12 fours are 48, and FV equals to 1000. 48, 970. What is the yield per month? So if we calculate yield per month, it is 0.9108%. So what is annualized YTM? It is 0.9108 multiplied by 12 gives you 10.9292% per annum. Now question is, which bond is better for investor? If he wants to invest for a 4-year period, which bond is better? These two bonds are not directly comparable. One is with the annual periodicity, second is with the monthly periodicity. Of course, your annual periodicity bond is showing that it is giving a higher per annum YTM of 11.29, but this 10.9292 per annum is on a monthly basis. So we have to convert either bond Y's YTM of monthly periodicity into annual periodicity equivalent number, or that X into Y's equivalent periodicity number. So let's convert that X or this monthly periodicity YTM into, let's go for annualized number. So how to convert that? 1 plus APR 1 upon 1 to the power 1 is equals to 1 plus APR, that is 0.109292 divided by 12 whole power 12. So what is the equivalent APR? Equivalent APR will be equals to divide by 100 divided by 12 plus 1 whole power 12 minus 1 is going to give you 11.4 into 100 is going to give you 11.4936% per annum, and your bond X is giving 11.2975%. Which bond is better? It is the bond Y. Same coupon rate, same face value, same tenure, even Y is trading at a higher price 970 than X, still purchasing Y is beneficial for investor. Still purchasing Y is beneficial for investor, because on a monthly basis when you are getting 0.9108% return, on a monthly basis when you are getting a return of 0.9108%, it is effectively equals to 11.4936%. If we have done the example from start, in starting that 10% annual basis, periodicity annual is 10 rupees on 100. But 10% with a semi-annual periodicity, there are 2 times you are going to get interest, and then the compounding effect will come into a picture. So 100 will become 105 and 105 will become 110.25. So effectively you are getting 10.25%. So same impact is coming here, that 0.9108% per month is getting converted into 11.4936% on an annual basis. And that bond is giving only 11.2975%. So which bond is better for investment? It is bond Y. So I hope how to convert one periodicity YTM into another periodicity, that's done. So, and I think we are done with this, and we can say compounding more frequently at lower annual rate corresponds to compounding less frequently at higher annual rate. If you compound at 10.5% for annual periodicity for 1 year, it will become 10.5. Higher rate, one-time compounding, one-time periodicity. 5% semi-annual rate, 2 frequency compounding, it will give us same 10.25. What it is saying? It is saying 10.25% with a periodicity of 1 and 10% per annum with a periodicity of 2. Both are going to generate us 10.25 over 100 rupees in 1 year period. So compounding at lower rate 10% with higher frequency, higher periodicity is effectively equals to compounding less frequently, that is one time, at a higher rate. Both are same. With this topic is over. Thank you everyone.